Picture this Hollywood's golden couple, once the epitome of love, loyalty, and red carpet perfection, now teetering on the edge of a scandal so big it has every gossip blog foaming at the mouth. The air in Devon Franklin's lavish LA home. Is Thicno suffocating as news breaks that his ex-wife, Meagan has just confirmed she's pregnant, and not by him? Fans are shocked. The industry is buzzing, and insiders say Devon's reaction was nothing short of explosive. Witnesses claim he didn't just call her, he went OFF, unleashing years of bottled-up emotions in a flurry of fiery words and pointed accusations that could rival the most dramatic scenes of any reality TV reunion. Some sources even whisper that he begged her to come back despite the baby drama, leaving everyone wondering, was it love, desperation, or something far more complicated? And just when you think you know where this story is going, trust me, you don't. Because behind the paparazzi flashes and cryptic Instagram posts lies a tangled web of betrayal, regret, and a shocking twist that could change everything. So buckle up, because what you're about to hear will make you question everything you thought you knew about Devon and Meagan. The room was silent, except for the faint hum of the air conditioner. But inside Devon Franklin's mind, there was a storm brewing so loud it drowned out everything else. He had just seen the video. Meagan, radiant in a flowing cream dress, standing in front of a crowd at a charity event. Her hand resting delicately on her stomach as she smiled that same smile he used to wake up to. "Yes," she said to the microphone, "I'm pregnant." There was a pause, a gasp from the audience, and then she added softly, "And I've never been happier." To the world, it was a beautiful moment. To Devon, it was a gut punch. This wasn't supposed to be how their story went. They had been through so much together, years of marriage, building each other up, weathering the whispers when things started to fall apart. And when they finally signed the divorce papers, there was still respect, still something unspoken between them. But now, seeing her glowing over a new life that didn't involve him, he felt a hollow ache deep in his chest. He paced his living room, his phone clutched in his hand, scrolling through the flood of notifications. Texts from friends asking if he was okay. Reporters requesting statements. Fans tagging him in the clip over and over. "She looks so happy," one fan wrote. "Devon must be devastated." He wasn't ready to admit it, but they were right. Then the first rumor hit. Some anonymous blog claimed the baby's father was someone Meagan had been quietly seeing for months. Man connected to the industry, but not in the public eye. Another outlet hinted at an overlap between this relationship and her marriage to Devon. That was all it took. The whispers turned into full-blown accusations. And his phone wouldn't stop ringing. Devon's single quotes as closest friend, Marcus, showed up, unannounced. "Man, you can't let them spin this without saying something," Marcus said, tossing his jacket onto the couch. "They're making you look like the fool here." "I'm not playing into this circus," Devon muttered, but his voice lacked conviction. Marcus leaned forward. "You've been quiet for too long. The world thinks she moved on and left you in the dust. If you don't set the record straight, they'll believe whatever story they're being fed." Devon sank into the couch, his mind flashing back to the last time he saw Meagan. It was at a mutual friend's birthday dinner. She had looked beautiful as always, but there was something different in her eyes, something softer but also distant. They'd shared a brief hug, exchanged polite words. And then she'd spent most of the evening laughing with a man Devon didn't recognize. He remembered the way his chest tightened. Even though he had no right to feel that way anymore. Weren't together, they'd agreed to move on. But in that moment, it was like a part of him knew something was changing forever now. Staring at his phone, Devon felt that same tightening, only sharper. He finally gave in and called her the line. Rang twice before she answered. "Hey," she said, her voice cautious. Hey, he replied, trying to keep his tone even. I saw the video. There was a long pause. I figured you would. Congratulations, he said, the word tasting bitter in his mouth. Thank you, she replied, her voice barely above a whisper. So, you're pregnant, he said, as if saying it out loud would make it real. And I'm just supposed to find out like the rest of the world? Devon, we're not together anymore. I didn't think you didn't think I deserved to. No? He cut her off, his voice rising. We were married for nearly a decade, Meagan. We shared everything. And now you're telling me this like I'm some stranger watching from the sidelines? Her silence was answer enough. Is it true? He pressed. About the timing? About him? People are going to say whatever they want, she said carefully. But I'm not going to get into rumors with you. Rumors, he scoffed. So you're not denying it? She sighed. Devon, this isn't how I wanted this conversation to go. How did you want it to go? He snapped. Me congratulating you and pretending I'm not blindsided? You moving on without even looking back? You think this was easy for me? She shot back, her voice breaking. You think I didn't struggle with how to tell you? I didn't want to hurt you. Too late, he said, his voice low but firm. There was another long silence before she said, I'm happy, Devon. I hope you can find a way to be happy for me too. And then the line went dead. Devon sat there, staring at the phone in his hand, feeling the anger and hurt swirl together until he couldn't tell where one ended and the other began. Later that night, though, the story exploded even more. A gossip account posted alleged text messages between Meagan and her new partner, filled with flirtatious exchanges that hinted their relationship had started long before her marriage ended. No one could confirm if the messages were real, but it didn't matter. The internet had already made up its mind. Devon's team advised him to stay silent. But that wasn't an option anymore. Not after seeing his name dragged through the mud. Not after hearing people say he couldn't keep Meagan happy. Marcus found him sitting in his home office, typing furiously on his laptop. You're really going to post something? Marcus asked. I'm not letting her rewrite history, Devon said without looking up. People need to know what really happened. And what really happened? Marcus pressed. Devon's fingers froze over the keys. She left before she ever walked out the door, he said quietly. And now she's acting like I was never part of her story. Marcus didn't respond. He didn't need to. They both knew that whatever Devon posted next would set the internet on fire. When the clock hit midnight, Devon's Instagram lit up with a new post. A black background, white text. It read, some chapters end before you realize the story's over. But truth always comes to light. The comments poured in instantly. Some people supported him, telling him to stay strong and know your worth. Others accused him of bitterness, saying Meagan had every right to move on. But the post had done its job. It reignited the conversation. And now everyone wanted to know what Devon meant by truth. By the next morning, paparazzi were camped outside his house, and every major entertainment outlet had reached out for an interview. Devon ignored them all. His focus was elsewhere. A plan forming in his mind. He wasn't just going to defend himself. He was going to tell his side of the story. And when he did, the world wouldn't look at Meagan the same way again. And just as he was about to take the first step, an unexpected message popped up on his phone, one that would complicate everything even more. It was from someone he hadn't heard from in years, and they claimed to know the real father of Meagan's baby. Devon stared at the message like it might disappear if he blinked too hard. The name at the top of the screen made his chest tighten. Latoya, a mutual acquaintance from back in the early days of his marriage to Meagan. They hadn't spoken in years, not since some messy fallout involving a project she claimed Meagan had stolen from her. Devon had written her off as bitter, maybe even a little unstable. But the text was impossible to ignore. I know who the father is. It read. And it's not who everyone thinks. His thumb hovered over the call button before he finally pressed it. The phone rang once, twice. Then her voice came through. calm but carrying that same sly edge he remembered. "So you finally decided to call," Latoya said. "You can't just drop something like that and not explain," Devon replied, trying to keep his voice steady. "What do you know?" "Oh, I know plenty," she said, almost sing-song. "But I don't give information for free. This is Hollywood. Baby, everything has a price." "I'm not playing games," he warned. "Good, because this isn't a game. I saw them together months before you filed for divorce." "It wasn't casual, Devon. It was the kind of intimacy you don't fake. And the worst part, he's someone you've worked with." His stomach dropped. "Worked with?" she chuckled. "Ever wonder why that charity gala last year was so awkward for her? Why she kept avoiding one person in particular?" "Yeah, that's him. I can prove it. But you have to promise me something first." "What?" "When this blows up, and trust me, it will, you don't leave my name out of it. I want credit. People need to know I was right about her from day one." Devon hesitated. He didn't trust her, but his curiosity was eating him alive. "Send me what you have," he said. Minutes later, his phone buzzed with an email. Inside were 3 blurry but unmistakable photos. Meagan, hand in hand with a man Devon recognized instantly. Tyler Devon, single quotes, as former colleague, a producer he had collaborated with on a major project 2 years ago. The two had spent hours in meetings, shared hotel conference rooms on out-of-town shoots, even toasted to each other's success. And now, according to Latoya, this was the man who could be the father of Meagan's child. His jaw clenched as he stared at the images. One was from a dimly lit restaurant, another from a parking lot where they stood close, laughing. The last one showed Tyler leaning down to kiss Meagan's cheek. He called Marcus immediately. "It's Tyler," he said, without preamble. Marcus swore under his breath. "You sure? I've got pictures." "Man, this changes everything," Marcus said. "You go public with this, and it's over for her. Her perfect image, gone." "I'm not just thinking about her," Devon muttered. "I'm thinking about the fact that this man smiled in my face while this was happening." Marcus was silent for a moment. "What do you want to do?" Devon didn't answer right away. Part of him wanted to release the photos right then and there, watch the internet explode with speculation and vindication. But another part of him wanted to confront Tyler face to face. Make him say it out loud by the next afternoon. Devon had his chance. It happened at an industry networking brunch, one of those events where everyone pretends they're just there for the mimosas, but in reality, it's all about deals and gossip. Devon spotted Tyler across the room, chatting with a group of execs. He walked over, his heartbeat pounding in his ears. "Tyler," he said evenly. Tyler turned, smiling wide. "Devon, man, it's been too long." "Yeah," Devon said, his voice cold. "Too long. You got a minute to talk?" "Sure," Tyler replied, clearly oblivious. They stepped into a quieter corner, away from the clinking glasses and polite laughter. So Devon began. "How long were you seeing Meagan? Before the divorce?" Tyler's smile faltered. "What are you talking about? Don't play dumb," Devon snapped. "I've got pictures, Tyler. You, her, holding hands, kissing. You think I wouldn't find out?" Tyler ran a hand over his face. "Look, Devon, just answer the question," Devon interrupted. "It wasn't like that," Tyler said quickly. "We were friends, we got close, and, things happened. But it wasn't planned. She was hurting. You two were already having problems. Don't you dare try to justify it." Devon cut him off, his voice low and dangerous. "You were supposed to be my friend." Tyler didn't respond, and the silence between them was louder than any argument. "Is the baby yours?" Devon finally asked. Tyler's single quotes eyes darted away. "I don't know," he said quietly. "She hasn't said. But it's possible." Devon felt like someone had punched him in the gut. He left the brunch without another word, his mind spinning. Part of him wanted to scream, Another part wanted to cry. And yet another part he hated wanted to call Meagan again, to demand the truth. But before he could decide, the internet made the decision for him. Somehow, the photos from LaToya's email leaked. Within hours, they were all over social media. Fans were shocked. Hashtags started trending. And Meagan's team went into full damage control mode. And that's when Devon's phone rang again this time. "It was Meagan. You leaked those pictures, didn't you?" Her voice was sharp, trembling, with anger. "No," he said truthfully, "but I'm not sorry they're out there." "You have no idea what you've done," she snapped. "Do you think this hurts me? You're wrong. This is going to blow back on you, Devon. You're going to look bitter and petty." "Maybe," he said, "but at least I'm not a liar." There was a long pause. "You still don't get it, do you?" she said finally. "You're not the victim here." "Oh, I'm not," he asked. "Then who is?" "Me," she said quietly, and then she hung up. Devon sat there staring at the screen, wondering how in the world she could possibly believe that. What he didn't know, what no one knew yet, was that the real story was even messier than anyone imagined. And the next piece of the puzzle was about to drop, because the very next morning, Tyler's ex-girlfriend went public, claiming Meagan's pregnancy wasn't the first betrayal. Tyler's ex-girlfriend, Jasmine, didn't just post a vague status or throw out a cryptic quote like most people do when they're hurt. No, she went nuclear. She uploaded a 6-minute Instagram video that instantly caught fire across every gossip page, celebrity blog, and even mainstream entertainment news. In it, she sat on her couch, hair pulled back, no makeup, and a rawness in her tone that made people stop scrolling and listen. "I've stayed quiet for too long," she began, looking directly into the camera. "But after seeing those pictures of Tyler and Meagan and hearing all this pregnancy speculation, I can't stay silent anymore. The truth is, Meagan wasn't the only one Tyler was messing with. He was cheating on me with multiple women while I was living with him. And one of those women, she wasn't just some fling. She was someone I trusted too." The comment section erupted instantly. Jasmine continued, her voice shaking with a mix of anger and sadness. "Tyler and I were together for almost 3 years. I thought we were building a future. And then one night, I found messages on his phone from Meagan. They weren't just friendly, they were intimate. And when I confronted him, he swore it was nothing physical. I wanted to believe him. I really did. But now, seeing her pregnant, yeah, I think I know the truth." The clip spread like wildfire. Within hours, it had over 1 million views, and Jasmine's follower count had exploded. Fan reactions ranged from sympathy for her to outrage at both Tyler and Meagan. Hashtags like #MEAGAN, Good Mess, and #TylerTangled started trending. Devon watched the whole thing in silence. Its emotions a tangled knot. Part of him felt vindicated finally. Someone else was saying out loud what he'd been feeling. Another part felt an unexpected pang of sympathy for Jasmine. She had been betrayed just like he had, maybe even worse. Marcus called immediately after the video dropped. "Bro, this is it. This is the nail in the coffin. People are turning on her. The sympathy she had after the pregnancy reveal. Gone, don't. Celebrate yet?" Devon replied cautiously. "Meagan's smart. She'll spin this somehow. She always does." Sure enough, later that day, Meagan posted a long, carefully worded statement on her Instagram. "To my supporters, it began. I want to address the rumors circulating about my relationship and my pregnancy. My personal life has always been just that, personal. But out of respect for those involved, I will say this. Relationships are complex. And sometimes people grow in different directions. Mistakes were made, hearts were broken, but my focus right now is on bringing a healthy, happy child into this world. I ask for privacy and compassion as we navigate this journey." The statement didn't deny anything. It didn't confirm anything either. But the lack of outright denial only fueled more speculation. Still, Devon couldn't help but notice one sentence that stuck out to him. "Mistakes were made. To him, that was an admission. Later that night, he got a call from a blocked number. He almost didn't answer, but curiosity won. Devon. The voice was female, unfamiliar but urgent. "Who is this? You don't know me, but you need to hear what I have to say. I worked with Meagan on a set last year, and I know for a fact that the timeline she's giving the public doesn't match what was happening behind the scenes. She and Tyler were very close. So close to people on set would joke about them being a couple, and that was long before you two divorced." "Why are you telling me this?" he asked, suspicion creeping in. "Because you're being painted as the bitter ex," she replied, "and that's not fair. I can't watch it happen without saying something. I've got photos, videos, and if you want them, we need to meet in person." Before he could respond, she hung up. The next day, Devon met her at a quiet coffee shop in West Hollywood. She was young, maybe late 20s, with a nervous energy. After some small talk, she slid her phone across the table. On the screen was a video clip taken in what looked like a production trailer. Meagan was sitting on a couch laughing as Tyler leaned in and whispered something in her ear. Her hand rested casually on his knee, and the look they shared was unmistakably intimate. "That was 3 months before you filed for divorce," woman said. Devon single quotes as chest tightened. "Why didn't anyone say anything?" "It's because no one wanted to get involved in their drama," she replied. "But now, I think people need to know the truth." He left the coffee shop with the video on a flash drive in his pocket, feeling both empowered and sick to his stomach. He knew this would blow things wide open, but a part of him wondered if he was ready for the fallout. Later that evening, Marcus stopped by. "So, what's the move?" he asked as Devon hesitated. "If I release this, it's going to get ugly. Not just for her, but for me too. People are going to say I'm obsessed, that I can't let go." "You're not obsessed," Marcus countered. "You're defending yourself. You're setting the record straight." But as Devon stared at the flash drive, he couldn't shake the feeling that this wasn't just about defending himself anymore. It was about something deeper. "I need to finally have control over the narrative after months of feeling powerless." Just as he was about to decide, his phone buzzed again. It was a direct message from Jasmine. "We need to talk," it read. "I found something that changes everything." He typed back, "What is it? What is it?" Her reply came instantly. Proof that Meagan might have lied about who the father is to everyone. Devon's pulse quickened as he read Jasmine's message again, the words blurring together in his mind. Proof that Meagan might have lied about who the father is to everyone. It wasn't the kind of claim you just ignored. Within minutes, he was calling her, his voice tight with urgency. "What do you mean, proof?" he asked as soon as she picked up. "Meet me," Jasmine said, without hesitation. "This isn't something I can explain over the phone. I've got receipts, texts, dates, photos. It's not just Tyler in this story, Devon. There's another man." The air seemed to leave the room. "Another man?" "Yes," she replied. "And if I'm right, he's the real father of that baby." They agreed to meet at a quiet diner outside the city limits, far from the paparazzi and prying eyes. Jasmine arrived first, sitting in a booth with a folder on the table. When Devon slid into the seat across from her, she pushed it toward him without a word. Inside were printouts of text messages between Meagan and someone named Dee. They weren't just friendly, there were late-night heart emojis, private jokes, and references to secret meets in cities where she had supposedly been filming. "Who's Dee?" Devon asked, his voice low. Jasmine leaned back. "Derek, a fitness trainer she met last year. They got close fast. Tyler doesn't even know about him. I only found out because one of my friends works at the same gym and saw them together more than once." Devon flipped through the pages, his mind racing. "So you're saying she was seeing Tyler and Derek at the same time?" "Exactly," Jasmine said. "And based on the timing of these messages, Derek is just as likely to be the father as Tyler, maybe more. She's playing both of them, Devon. And from what I can tell, she hasn't told either of them the truth. The thought made his stomach churn. It was one thing to believe she had moved on with Tyler. It was another to realize there might be an entirely different man in the picture. One who had been hidden from everyone. "Why are you giving this to me?" he asked. Jasmine's expression softened slightly, because no matter what happened, between you and Meagan, you don't deserve to be dragged like this. And frankly, neither does Tyler. She's out here letting the public think this is some great love story when it's just chaos. As they talked, Devon's phone buzzed with a notification. It was a new headline from a celebrity news site. Meagan Good spotted at prenatal appointment with mystery man. The blurry paparazzi photo showed her walking out of a medical building, her hand resting on her belly, and beside her was a tall, athletic man in a baseball cap. Derek Marcus called seconds later. "Bro, are you seeing this? It's not Tyler. Some dude named Derek." "I know, Devon," said grimly. "I've got the proof right here." The revelation hit the internet like a bomb. Fans who had been defending Meagan were suddenly questioning everything. Some accused her of lying. Others speculated she didn't even know who the father was. The narrative had shifted almost overnight. For the first time since this all began, Devon felt like he wasn't the one under the microscope. But the drama wasn't done. That night, Meagan broke her silence again, this time in a live video. She looked tired, her voice steady but carrying an edge of defensiveness. "I've heard the rumors, I've seen the photos, and I'm not going to dignify every lie with a response," she said. "But I will say this. I know who the father of my child is. And that's between me and him. The rest of you can speculate all you want, but I'm not here to live my life for strangers' approval." The live ended abruptly, leaving more questions, then answers. And just when Devon thought the dust might settle, his phone lit up again, this time with an unknown number sending him a short, chilling message. "She's telling the truth about knowing who the father is," the message read. "But it's not Tyler, it's not Derek either. Someone you'd never expect." Devon's breath caught. Before he could reply, another text came through. "Check your email." He opened his inbox to find a single photo. Meagan, in what looked like a hotel room, sitting beside a man whose face made his blood run cold, because it was someone from his own family. The story wasn't just about betrayal anymore. It had crossed into territory Devon never thought possible. It wasn't just his reputation on the line, it was his family's. Devon sat alone in the dim light of his living room, the photo still open on his phone, his hands trembling. The man beside Meagan in that hotel room wasn't just anyone was his own cousin. Someone he'd grown up with, someone he trusted like a brother. Suddenly, the puzzle pieces rearranged themselves in his mind. The awkward silences at family gatherings, the random messages from relatives asking if he and Meagan were okay long before the divorce. The vague excuses his cousin gave when canceling plans. Now it all made sense. Fans were still debating online. Was it Tyler? Was it Derek? But no one even suspected the truth. If he dropped this bomb, it wouldn't just destroy Meagan's image, it would rip his family apart. The weight of it pressed on him like a boulder. Marcus called again, urging him to go public. But Devon couldn't bring himself to answer, because deep down, he knew that once the world saw that photo, there would be no going back. As dawn crept through the blinds, Devon realized he was standing at a crossroads. He could protect his family and let the world believe whatever it wanted, or he could expose everything and finally clear his name once and for all. Either way, the truth would haunt him forever. And now, it's your turn to weigh in. What would you do if you were in Devon's shoes? Keep the secret to protect the people you love, or tell the truth and risk blowing up everything? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like this video if you were hooked from start to finish. Hit that subscribe button so you never miss another wild celebrity twist, and turn on notifications so you're always the first to hear the latest tea. Trust me, the next chapter in this story is going to be even messier.